Chambers, please. Sheila, you can hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, the time is now 7 p.m. and I will call this meeting to order. May we have roll call, please?
Mayor Reichel, Mayor Pro Tem Hanrahan,
Here.
Trustee Bretnall,
Here.
Trustee Klassen,
Here.
Trustee Engelhardt,
Here.
Trustee Sanchez,
Here.
Trustee Seifert.
Here.
Okay, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. All right. The first item on our agenda this evening is public comments. Persons desiring to make a public comment on items not on tonight's agenda, please activate the raise hand function in the meeting program. Or Sheila, do we have any emails or voicemails?
No, I did not hear from anyone today.
Okay.
And I do not show any raised hands, only staff is on the meeting.
Okay. Is anyone on our list?
We do not have anybody signed up to provide comment.
We're not popular anymore.
No, we're not.
Fleeting it was.
Okay, then the next item on our agenda is the consent agenda, which includes the minutes of the March 5th, 2026 Special Board of Trustees meeting, minutes of the March 9, 2026 Board of Trustees meeting, and resolution number 14, Series 2026, a resolution entering into an annual appropriation lease with Alpine Bank for the town of Silt, Garfield County, state of Colorado. Does anybody have any comments or have any questions about any of the items on this consent agenda?
Mr. Mayor, make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second. I was
We've-
looking down that way.
We have a motion by trustee Seifert to approve the consent agenda as presented, and that was seconded by trustee Klassen. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Do any trustees have a conflict of interest this evening?
No, sir.
I do not either. Does staff have any agenda changes this evening?
We do not.
Does the Board of Trustees have any agenda changes this evening?
No, sir. Nope.
All right. Then the next item on the agenda is Resolution Number 15, Series 2026, a resolution of the Board of Trustees appointing Derek Gress as the Chief of Police of the town of Silt, Colorado. I will turn this over to Manager Mann.
All right, after an extensive search for a new police chief, after 2 days worth of intensive interviews, it was the decision of the Board of Trustees to forward two candidates, with one being primary, the second being kind of in the wings in the event that anything from a background investigation, psychological profile, personality evaluation, et cetera, were to be a red flag that we might consider going a different direction. But I am pleased to let you know that none of the investigatory reports that we went ahead and had prepared raised any red flags. Therefore, you are in the position to move forward with the appointment of Derek Gress as the Town of Silt Chief of Police. And there is a resolution for your adoption this evening.
Anybody have any questions, comments?
I do not know.
I would just make one comment. I'd like to commend, Jim and Jeff for the thorough process in which was really conducted to arrive at this. Felt like I was very empowered to have the knowledge and information was a great group of candidates, and I think we arrived at an excellent choice in police chief. So thank you for that process.
Well said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, and very well qualified candidates, all of them, which confirmed for me that we are really getting a great police chief. So, thank you. Very happy about that.
Okay, somebody want to make a motion?
Mr. Mayor, I will make a motion to approve resolution number 15, series 2026, appointing Derek Gress as the chief of police of the town of Silt.
Second. Justin can have it.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Engelhardt, and that was seconded by trustee Britnall. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries unanimously.
We do have a couple ceremonial pieces that we have to do this evening. One is the swearing in of Chief Gress, of which Clerk McIntyre is prepared to do. And being that our chief scribe and recorder, Director Centeno, is not here, you have to trust me to take pictures. Still time to back out.
No, there's no.
No.
I, Derek Gress,
Do affirm that I will support
that will affirm and support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Colorado,
and the state of Colorado,
the laws of the state of Colorado,
the laws of the state of Colorado,
the charter and ordinances of the town of Silt,
the charters and ordinances of the town of Silt,
and the Silt Police Department Code of Ethics,
and the Silt Police Department Code of Ethics,
and will faithfully perform the duties
and will faithfully perform the duties
of the office of Chief of Police,
of the office of the Chief of Police,
upon which I'm about to enter,
upon which I'm about to enter,
and to the best of my ability.
and to the best of my ability. Thank you, ma'am.
Yay. All right, I have one more item to do with Chief Gress, which is the policing code of ethics. I have to put my glasses on because it's small today.
You can get dressed up.
I didn't. I feel horrible. I didn't know I had a speaking role or a standing role. Is this a raise your right hand thing?
No, that's good.
Okay. As a sworn officer, your fundamental duty is to serve the community by safeguarding lives and property against threats that could take advantage of or harm members of the community or otherwise impact peace and order. Will you uphold the Constitution and honor the rights of all to life, liberty, equality, and justice? Will you never employ unnecessary force? Will you respect the privacy of people and communities that you serve? And will you fully obey the laws that you are sworn to enforce?
I will.
Will you live by example, remembering that your character and conduct on duty and off directly influence the legitimacy of the policing profession? Will you exercise self-restraint and maintain courageous calm in the face of danger, scorn, and ridicule, and be constantly mindful of the welfare of others as well as your own well-being?
I will.
Will you never act officiously or permit bias or personal gain to influence your decisions? Will you strive to protect the vulnerable from harm? If this fails, will you seek to identify and apprehend offenders professionally and appropriately, holding them to account? Will you refrain from soliciting or accepting any gifts, bribes, or anything of value from any person or entity that may create a perception of benefit or influence of the performance as a public servant?
I will.
Do you recognize your shield of office as a symbol of public faith, and do you accept it as a public trust to be held so long as you are true to the ethics of police service? Will you refrain from engaging in or condoning acts of corruption, taking advantage of circumstances for personal gain, or accepting gratuities, and will you promise to intervene when met with any unjustified acts by members of your profession? Will you cooperate with all legally authorized agencies and their respected representatives in the pursuit of justice?
I will.
Do you accept that you alone are responsible for your own professional performance and conduct, and will you take every reasonable opportunity to enhance and improve your level of knowledge and competence?
I will.
Will you constantly strive to achieve these principles, dedicating yourself to your chosen profession, policing?
Sir.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
And welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
And would you, I mean, when we take this picture, if you'd like anybody to come up and we get other pictures, we're happy to do that too.
Thank you. My nephew is an Eagle officer. Now we started to get it. How many years you got? 5?
Almost 10.
5, 10.
10 flies.
He always rounds down.
3 with Eagle.
Yeah, me with Eagle. My sister, my father, they all serve to help communities in their own professions, past professions, current professions, and stuff like that. My mom was the cafeteria lady. She's at home not feeling well. She sent me a cool little text and stuff like that. So the whole family, we have a mantra of a spirit of adventure, but we'd like to serve. So I'm honored that you entrust me in that, and we're going to move forward and rock and roll.
Look forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Couldn't be any prouder.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, the next item on the agenda is the Silt Water Conservancy District request for a letter of support for Harvey Gap Spillway Replacement Project, which was written by Nathan Bell. We have a different gentleman, Stefan, with us this evening to present this, and I will turn it over to Manager Mann.
I'm going to turn it right over to Stefan. There's some work that needs to be done on the spillway of the Harvey Gap Reservoir, which of course we are, from a staff perspective, supportive of the work that they're going to do, but they're going to be asking us to provide them with a letter of support. So we'll turn it over.
As most of you are aware, Silt Water has been working on rebuilding the Harvey Gap Spillway. This project will improve dam safety and allow for an additional 640 acre-feet of water in the reservoir, which will help prolong irrigation seasons and recreation on the reservoir, especially in drought years like this one. In this process of the project, we are working on applying for grants to lessen the financial burden on our district. These grants require or prefer letters of community support. So I'm here asking the town of Silt for a letter of support for our grant applications. And as mentioned, our grant writer Nathan has provided a rough draft for you guys to look at and make tweaks to if you want. And if you have any questions.
Absolutely. Support.
Yeah, it's
Tell me where to sign.
Stefan, do you know what grants are being applied for? Are we talking FMLD, DOLA?
We've done a FMLD one, it's in the works, and working on a CD.
CDS, congressionally directed spending,
Federal.
federal, yeah.
And a few more, hopefully in the coming. Just, I don't know all the abbreviations for all of them off the top of my head. So.
Well, you can get the money, now would be the time to do it, because it's going to be low this fall,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
You want to tell them, Stefan, what that's going to roughly cost?
The one quote we had on it was roughly 3.2.
$1 million. Just add 2 feet. Not 2 foot.
2 feet.
And for years, it's just been boards up there, and now it's it's gotten pretty convoluted now. It's not
So
just simple
it's
anymore.
past due to have this work
But
done.
We really need this, so to help in dry years like this.
Yeah,
It's gonna make a big difference.
The 640 acre feet's 2 feet of elevation. So from where it's sitting, as of this morning, 2 more feet straight up across the whole thing, so it's a fair amount of water.
It's really
Yeah, it
full
is.
right now. It would fine.
Yeah, it's at the 50 foot, the highest the state will let us take it till we get this.
Till you get that
Yeah.
fixed.
Mm.
Well,
And it'll be 52.
all we're doing is writing a letter, I guess, if we could. I mean,
Well, I mean,
Seems like the
at the
least
end
we
of the
could do.
day, the expansion of the reservoir is a positive, especially as we continue to have drier years. So it helps with the irrigation, but it also provides for emergency services a added source of fire suppression if needed. And sadly, they didn't get it done last year for the dry year that we're bound to have this year.
yeah, well, it's like the only slightly encouraging thing I've heard about water this year so far, so thanks for that, you know? I mean, if this could get accomplished, that would be great.
Is there anything more that we can do to move this along than a letter of support? Are there certain state, federal representatives we can also tap to try and push the need for this? Because I am supportive of the letter, but just seeing, where else we might be able to provide leverage to move it forward.
We can always mention it when we have meetings with our congressional delegation on some of our own efforts to obtain grant funds and just bring it up. And it's really becomes a collaborative effort that's going to benefit the region, so there's no reason why we wouldn't bring it up. But that's about the extent that we can do, especially for the CDS process. It's rather specific.
Okay.
Yeah, if there's a downside to this, other than obviously the cost, I'm not aware of it. And I've not heard anyone say anything that's anti getting this done. There's just no circumstance under which we don't need more water. Or to be able to store it, I should say. It's not like
Yeah.
we're making water, we're preserving what we have.
Yeah, be able to hold more of the creek production and years it's good, maybe roll some over to years like this one, it's not so good. Be a benefit all around.
Yeah, this is an easy yes for me.
Yeah, exactly. I support it 100%. And I think the letter is well written.
Okay, this is an action item, so if somebody would like to make a motion.
Mr. Mayor Pro Tem, I'll make a motion to approve the Silt Water Conservancy District request for letter of support for Harvey Gap Spillway Replacement Project.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Clausen to approve the Siltwater Conservancy District request for a letter of support for the Harvey Gap Spillway Replacement Project. And that was seconded by trustee Engelhardt. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us, Stephanie.
You.
Next item on the agenda is the Mountain Valley Developmental Services Update with Department Director Maura Masters. I will turn this over to Manager Mann.
We have Maura Masters, the Director of Mountain Valley Development Service. She requested an opportunity to come before the board to explain what it is the organization is doing and how we might be able to tap into that. So I'll turn it over to Director Masters.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, and thank you, Manager Mann, for inviting me here tonight to tell you a little bit more about what Mountain Valley Development Services does. I am the Development Director. The first in 50 years of service. And so I've been out and about meeting people, and I met the Mayor Pro Tem at a luncheon, a county luncheon, or a board luncheon recently. Never been to the Miners Claim before. So I have lived in the Roaring Fork Valley for about 35 years, raised my children here. I work in marketing and public relations and development, fundraising work, and this is kind of my last hurrah. And I can tell you that I have never worked in a place that has kinder people, not a mean bone in the bunch. It's really really a joy to go to work every day. So we are Mountain Valley Developmental Services, and we unleash the potential of extraordinary people. And I need to tell you to go next, Sheila. Okay. Our mission is to encourage and support, enhance abilities, and educate community for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Next. Our history is such that we started out as Happy Time Preschool for Exceptional Children in 1973. That was over 50 years ago. The intent was to prepare children for school-based services. We soon became involved with moving people out of institutions and began our residential supported employment and enrichment services for adults. We implement a holistic, person-centered model for adult services where our participants make their own choices. The person-centered, independent, and inclusive approach is critical to achieving our mission. Here's a photo of a few of our adult participants enjoying a summer picnic in the park. Next. Through the decades, we have evolved into providing a range of services to children and adults. Services can start as early as birth and can last throughout a person's lifetime. We support individuals in Garfield, Pitkin, Eagle, and Lake counties, and many communities, including Silt. We currently provide service coordination for 350 children and 150 adults and their families. Our catchment area, our service area, is sort of a big blobby circle. It starts in Glenwood Springs and goes out to Rulison, Garfield County, right to the border. Goes up to Aspen, Basalt, in Pitkin County, up to Leadville, over the hill there to Lake County, and then down to Eagle Vale. Today we focus on two programs, really. The early intervention program and adult services. So in early intervention, we provide developmental evaluations and therapeutic intervention services for children with intellectual and developmental disabilities and delays under the age of 3 at no cost to their families. We partner with multiple community agencies to fulfill the needs and growth of children in our care. We help families by providing in-person specialized therapeutic services. And we steward children and their families. We steward children and their families from preschool into adulthood through their school career and beyond. Hold on for a second. Some of the agencies that we partner with are schools, daycares, doctors' offices, the Early Childhood Network, Family Visitor Program, which is now called Great Expectations, and then the therapies include speech, physical, occupational, and home, where it's comfortable and safe. Here's a mom and her child playing and learning together. Okay. The adult services program, we have three services. We have a residential program. We provide a variety of housing options for adults 18 and above at a reduced room and board. Right now, it's $811 a month. With 24/7 staff who encourage and support residents depending on their needs. We have a supported employment program. We assist with obtaining and maintaining community jobs in a nurturing environment at a respectable wage. We provide an enrichment program. We provide recreation, leisure, and learning activities so participants are out in community experiencing joy. Two things that are unique to Mountain Valley: we have a medical office that coordinates and oversees the health needs of our participants with an on-staff RN and then medical technicians that go to the homes and help with medications and appointments and things like that. And we have a transportation fleet available to assist participants in accessing and fulfilling their care. We have an impressive electric vehicle fleet, actually. Because we've been in service for so long, we own and maintain 10 homes, mostly in Garfield County, 5 apartments, mostly in Eagle County, our agency space in Glenwood Springs, and 2 retail locations. the Mountain Valley Weavers on 8th, and the Mountain Valley Greenhouse behind the agency in Glenwood. Okay, next. I've had the opportunity these last few weeks to visit some of our residential homes. Oops, you can go back, Sheila. Okay. And meet the house managers. And they are just amazing people, tireless in providing a healthy environment and necessary life skills. They work really hard, and they're angels, patient and kind. Next. We coordinate with many community partners in our capture area. For supported employment, we have 59 participants currently working in 51 businesses, earning a good wage in a nice place. Our retail locations are group employment sites where a whole bunch of employees work in one place. Some employees work more than one job or work together in the group sites. For example, we serve lunch at the Montessori School in Carbondale. We also work with Tractor Supply, Care Animal Rescue, Grind Burgers, and Golden Gate Petroleum right here in Silt. Our day programs and community connection enrichment program offers participants the possibility of enjoying each other's company. Horseback riding, swimming, skiing, dancing, drumming, bowling, going to concerts in the rodeo, visiting museums, playing sports. We have 3 day programs, one in Glenwood Springs, one in Minturn, which is over in Eagle Vale, and one right here in Silt, 2 doors down on Home Avenue, this way, I guess. In Silt, a small town with lots of opportunities, we visit the Sopris Alpaca Farm, the library, Harvey Gap, the Wildlife Sanctuary, and have built solid friendships with the fire and police departments. So for our outreach program, we partner with lots of different local services and organizations and others. We have a Special Olympics team. We work with Windwalkers quite often, Smiling Goat, the Elks Lodge. There's a whole bunch. Okay, next. Here's a guy, one of our employees working at the Grind. Next. Here's a bunch of our participants at Windwalkers. The last day of the season, Christmas time. Thursday is the best day. It's horseback riding day. Next. And then we have our Special Olympics team. They just won first in regionals. So that's awesome. Okay. I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about our retail locations. They provide both income and supported employment opportunities. Since 1984, we have operated Mountain Valley Greenhouse, a fully functioning adaptive greenhouse that grows and sells plants, herbs, and flowers to the community year-round. In 1988, we began the Mountain Valley Weavers program and now have a retail space where weaving textile products are made and sold by our adult participants. These are what I was telling you, the group employment model. Both of these places are in Glenwood Springs. Okay, next. Here's one of our participants who works in the employees who works in the greenhouse with the poinsettia that we sell in wintertime around the holidays. Next. Here's one of our weavers who actually just celebrated his 28th year as a weaver, as a weaving artisan. He that makes the most amazing things. I really do encourage you all to come by and visit these locations next time you're in Glenwood Springs. And you can always call me and I can give you a tour, which I'm glad to do. The work that they do from seed to plant to farmer's market, from idea to design to weaving textiles that are made into products. It's truly amazing. Really is. Okay, next. I wanted to tell you a little bit what it's like. This is real general, but a day in the life of our participants. For an early intervention, children and their families, they meet with a therapist in their home to ready them for school in a fully supported and engaging environment. For our adult services participants, they wake up in their own rooms, in their own beds, eat a good breakfast, are transported to one of our 3-day programs, and if not going to work or have an appointment, they decide what they'd like to do that day. At the day program, you can do art, music, just hang out with friends, sing karaoke. They could also stay in the, or they can go on an outdoor excursion. They can go out with community connections and go out into the community and do all sorts of different things. My friend Molly told me today that they went to Dinosaur National Park. And at the end of the day, they go home to a nice dinner and companionship with their housemates and our staff. It's a full day, a full life, make their own choices, and are very active in being out in community, which is our mission. Okay, next. So we are a nonprofit organization that is primarily funded by Medicaid and other state agencies like the Healthcare Policy and Financing Committee. But we still reach out to the community when we can to create awareness of our unique and special services and to raise funding. One of those projects is Cozy Home. We launched it this year in January, and it's to shore up our infrastructure of our properties. We've started with 5 homes. We're working with CLEAR and with Northwest Council of GG, Grant Government. I don't know what the GG stands for. NWOGG, NWCCOG. Habitat for Humanities, Builders First Source, Defiance Thrift, and the service or agencies, like I said, Rotary and Elks and Kiwanis are all our partners, our volunteer partners, helping us with Cozy Home. I'm really into building community effort and kind of not necessarily relying, but inviting people to come in and join us do our work for the benefit of where we all live. And it seems to be working okay. We had a grant from Black Hills Energy, and we were able to install new windows, 18 of them, in one of our residential homes, Oakhurst. And now I see that some painting needs to be done. So around the new windowsills, if anybody wants to jump in, Kiwanis has taken over that, and they're making sure all the windows and everything, there's this touch-up paint in one of the houses. We actually have several volunteer opportunities, mostly in the retail locations. Another event we're doing is the Greenhouse Open House and Picnic. I lived here for a long time. I didn't even know we had a greenhouse. So I thought there might be other people like that. So we sent out an invitation. We had an open house, and so many people came that we sold out all of our tomatoes. It looked like we'd been robbed. So this year, we're growing lots and lots of tomatoes. We have 2 greenhouses. We have a main greenhouse, and then we have another greenhouse too. And just recently, that's undergone a renovation where we built raised beds, and they have mosaic tiles around them. And we're filling them up now with stuff to grow tomatoes this season, and then it'll be a winter garden. And then we're working with CLEAR also on the greenhouses to make sure they're all tightened up, that all the heat goes out, the cold comes in, or vice versa, depending on the season. It's an old building, it has holes, and that's going pretty well. It's CLEAR's actually first retail project. They usually do residential. Okay, next. Sorry. I'm thinking that we might be doing a community car wash this summer, but I guess that depends on water. And then Commissioner Will came and toured last week, and we talked about maybe having a cooking contest, a chef contest, using our garlic as a main ingredient. So I'm sort of intrigued by that. Our garlic is really good. Tastes sort of peppery. It's yummy. The greenhouse will be May 16th. The car wash or the chef contest, it will be sometimes this summer. And then, of course, we always participate in Colorado Gives Day. Okay, and that's in the fall and the winter. Next. So that's it. Please contact me if you'd like a tour of our facilities, so you can see our programs and services in action and witness how we are really unleashing the potential of extraordinary individuals every day. Your community development director, Nicole, is coming out on April 2nd, so maybe one of you wants to join her, or 2 or 3. Okay, and I'm Maura, and that's my contact information, so that's all I have. Do you have any questions?
I'm just adding stuff to my calendar, like the
Yeah.
Gonna be booked solid.
events.
Yeah.
So I'm not checking my phone. I'm adding things that are very interesting to me. So
Good, that's good. I'm glad.
I want to come by and check out your greenhouse.
Okay, well, come by. I'll give you a tour. Yeah. Come by before 3, because as I said, the participants leave at 3 and go home.
I just want to thank you for coming by. When we met and chatted briefly at the chamber luncheon, I was blown away that there's yet another service going on in our community that I didn't know about. I try to be as plugged in as possible, but I continue to meet people like Mara that, although there's this other thing going on, and I've tried to make it a mission of mine to get as many of these groups into this chambers during our meetings so that they can express not just to us but to the larger public, hey, this stuff is going on. These are the things that are happening in our community that aren't policy, that aren't law, that aren't budget, that are just community service in its purest form. So I appreciate you coming by. I had one quick question. Talk to us about the demand side. Is there a wait list for these services? Are there plans to expand?
The only wait list we have is for residential services, and those are housing waivers, and that's through, HICPUF. And they can be long, the wait lists, and depending on how finances go, they can be longer. So that's really the only wait list. And, and again, the participants get to decide. And so if they're on the wait list, and, there's 2, and one is for more need and one is for more independence. Like people who live in apartments that just have somebody come by maybe once a week and help them with shopping and, cleaning their place, that kind of thing. And then there's others who require more care 24/7, and they can just, they get to the top of the list and they can go live anywhere in Colorado. And so whether or not they decide to live in one of our homes, depending on availability of beds and all that, is up to them.
Is there any strategic capital planning to buy more units?
Not at this point, no. We own our properties. And so Cozy Home is going to help shear them up and protect our assets, like any good business, right? And, no, not at this point. I don't think so. We're just waiting to see. We're waiting to see about funding.
Which was going to be one of my questions.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've all read about the budget woes for the state of Colorado and
Yeah.
trying to close a $1.5 billion gap. My manager's report reported the actual problem. Are you at risk to losing funding, or have you gotten any?
It's not really losing funding. We had a little bit of a cut in October.
Mm-hmm.
Minor. Not really impactful, but this 4% decrease in Medicaid, that it covers our fee for services.
Mm-hmm.
So our contractors, the parents who take care of their family members at home, the people who manage our group, what are they called? Host homes. We are committed to not letting go any staff, not stopping any services. There might just be a little bit of a reduction. But, you know, we have a reserve, and we've been doing this for a long time. And we've ridden the wave of this. Not to say that it's not scary. And, you know, and that's not scary, but right now we're okay, you know.
Well, and the reason I ask is I have a daughter who's been on a wait list for 6 years now.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's a long time. And so the wait list will be affected. Yeah. And because of the nature of taking care of the people in the homes.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's what will be cut. I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
I just want to, I think, make a comment. You know, I do think this is great to know about, right, what's going on in our own communities. But again, what you guys have going on through the valley, because I, like many people, is, you know, it warms up starting looking at my garden and, right, getting ready. And I'm not so good at the seeds, but, you know, finding that there's an opportunity where I can go to also rally for a good cause, so those funds are staying local instead of, you know, some of the bigger chains around here that also have seeds. Really knowing that my dollars are going somewhere really valuable. I think that's great. Great to see you guys have that, you know, open house as well. And would just put the call out to the community as well. You know, if there's really an opportunity for you to partner with an organization that's doing good work, but also assist them in furthering that mission. And I would also look to maybe the town. I think, you know, we do a great job around town with flowers and different things. I don't know if there's an opportunity as well to partner there where any of those, you know, items are got. But maybe in the future, you know, we can also try and diversify where those flowers and things are being purchased, because it looks like you guys are doing some great work too.
That'd be nice.
I think that'd be another good opportunity for
Well,
us.
just down the street on Home Avenue, we have a little garden out front. And so you can go take a look at that. Our greenhouse built it for them out front. So the people who participate in the day park can go out and take care of it. Yeah.
And I put on my calendar to go check out the greenhouse like this week because, and I don't know if you've ever been to the Weaver store, but it's really nice. And it's been there a long time. I mean, it's
1988.
It's just a really nice store, and it's a great place to buy gifts. These are the kinds of places where I go and I buy a scarf for my aunt or whatever, and then you've got that added thing where you're like, look, I got it from this place, and it's spreading that, and they love that, and you feel good about spending your money there. And so I buy gifts at places like that as much as I can, and so I'm gonna come. So yeah,
Okay,
huge
good.
fan.
They're open Tuesday to Saturday, and 9 to 4, I think. And you know, same thing. You buy a dish towel there that's a little pricey, you know, $35, but it will last for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
and they're beautiful. Yeah.
And it's like I don't know, we feel obligated to buy people gifts for all these different occasions, and I feel like people end up just going to some random store and just buying some random thing, and I'm done with that. So I like to go places like.
I was at a baby shower yesterday, and I bought one of our bags as the diaper bag. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So that's why I'm here, is so you all know about us and what we do, and when you see our participants out in community, you're like, oh, they're with Mountain Valley, you know. And also, you know, it's my job to make sure that I investigate all opportunities. So if there's any kind of a partnership here in town, you know, or with a business or something, you know, that I know about it and I'm familiar with the town. So I'm a little bit reticent, and then I'm just coming around to you after being here for a year, but I hit the ground running, you know. Yeah, raised $332,000 last year, so that was good. So I was busy with that. So, yeah, now I'm busy with Cozy Home and taking care of our assets, and by extension, our participants.
We also have a chamber now. We have the CRB chamber, so they're, you know, a lot more active in recent years.
I'm active, with them, with Erin, and that's how I met Derek. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, and I met you, Jim, at the luncheon.
Briefly, yes.
Big luncheon. I came. I sort of stormed your table. Yeah, handed out my cards. Yeah.
I remember you now. Okay.
Oh, so you were the one. I couldn't remember. There were a couple of women at the table, and I couldn't remember who they were. So that's good. Now I know.
Yeah,
Mystery solved.
Yeah. Okay, well then you know about the chamber. You were there that day.
Any other questions or I can tell you how many employees we have. I can tell you what our budget was. I can tell you, we have a pretty high budget. We earn about $15 million for Medicaid. But you know what? That $15 million goes out. It comes in and goes out. We have about 91 full-time employees. And as I said, we've been around for a long time. We're kind of the big dogs on the porch, and we can withstand fluctuations in market and still provide real and good services for our people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. We're solid. And so you should partner with us somehow. You all give away any grants? Yeah.
We do.
You do? Okay.
We budget a variety of grants every year in our budgeting process.
Okay. Well, I'll be looking into them. You'll probably hear from me.
We'll see you in the fall.
Okay. See you in the fall. And please do come by whenever you'd
Thank
like.
you very much.
Yeah, thank
Thanks
you
for taking the time
presentation.
to
Yeah,
join us.
sure. It's my pleasure.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is the Gilstrap Cattail Property Park Development Professional Services Agreement. I will turn this over to Manager Mann.
As you may have been aware, we've been looking at what we might be able to do with the Gilstrap property, which is the cattails between the dollar store and Green Mountain Storage. Green Diamond Storage.
Intermountain storage.
Intermountain Storage. I'll get it right eventually. If it was in the town, I'd know. Kidding. But the first step in the process is to do an evaluation of wetlands to determine whether it's an isolated wetland area or whether it's connected and it becomes a waterway of the United States of America. So we have to make that determination before we really can move forward with many plans to do anything. Our first review with the firm that we're suggesting we hire to help us with that process, they seemed rather confident that it's not a waterway of the United States and that it will be deemed isolated. And so then all we're dealing with is state agencies as opposed to the Army Corps of Engineers. So this first piece of professional service agreement would be about $10,500. We're proposing that we hire Environmental Solutions, Inc. To do the initial work. We've used them in the past. Most recently, we used them when we put the boat ramp in at the dog park. And so because we've had a working relationship with them before, we are suggesting that we just go ahead and use them again. They're one of the few firms in the area that does this. In fact, Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, we don't know of anybody else that does this.
No, I don't. And, when we burnt the cattails, this
Yeah, that was a
company
fun
there
day.
with us. And everything we've had to do with the Army Corps, this company's helped us through it. So I think it's a company we can trust.
And so our first order of business is to, A, find out whether this is a waterway of the United States, which we don't think it is. This will get us in the position where we can truly start to plan it. The second phase, if it's not a waterway of the United States, probably is in the $20,000 to $30,000 range to get it removed from a wetlands designation. It would also, that second phase would then determine whether we need to mitigate any actual wetlands. Happily, we do have area out at the Silt River Preserve, which could serve as a mitigation site. But then the plan would be to develop this into play fields, including very possibly some pickleball courts, soccer fields. I don't know that we would put a baseball diamond down there, but it would be, basically, we're not going to bring it up a significant amount of elevation. We would be driving down into the property and using it somewhat as is, but there wouldn't be any cattails. They kind of get in the way of ball playing.
What is it zoned as?
What does the map say?
I don't know. What does the map say? The map says it's a public utility, which means park.
Okay.
Do you have a general idea of, well, let's say a soccer field, what would you be able to fit down there? Are we talking 1, 2,
I
understand there
did,
could be
I
a
did,
mix.
I did my favorite use of Microsoft Paint and did some measuring. Actually, I was using the Garfield County Assessor's website, the GIS that they have, and measured out that we could probably fit 3 soccer fields down there of varying sizes, and then still have an area for pickleball courts and then a parking area.
Wow.
Where's the entrance off of Highway 6? Is it by the motel?
It would be as far east as we could get it.
So the
Be by the motel, it would be the east.
Right.
The access control plan designated the access to come through the Maverick Family Dollar.
Right.
However, we built the Family Dollar on the access. So we really don't have an access through there any longer. The logical place for us to put it would be across from the permitted access for La Placida 2. We had looked at whether we could go further east where Autumn Ridge would connect, and even looked at whether we could come off of 16th Street and then come in the right-of-way that's there. We don't believe we can do that just because of elevations and, you know, the storage units have fenced-in area basically up to the right-of-way. So that doesn't necessarily work. So the logical would be opposing the La Placida entrance. La Placida 2 entrance, I should say.
I'm definitely in favor of at least getting this first part started and see where we're at, because, I mean, it's for development for anything other than ball fields would be extensive, so it's definitely a good use for it. Something that we need. I think baseball fields, like you said, I think that's too much infrastructure. If there is high water, or if there's any whatever, then it cause much more problems than it would like for soccer fields.
Correct.
Yeah, easy access on and off the highway,
It
right
seems-
near our main street, so business development opportunities there relating to more people showing up for more sporting events with various ages, you know, kid to adult. There's a lot of upside there. Pickleball, the noise won't affect people who otherwise may live right next door to it. This gives them some distance for the sound. I think there's a lot of upside here.
Yeah. It's like already noisy and the traffic area, it's attracting people to our businesses. It seems like the highest and best use, right? Is that what you think?
Yep. And we're asking just for the authorization to do phase 1 tonight.
Yep.
If that comes back positively where it's not a waterway of the United States, then we'll be back with the second phase.
I guess it's only the highest and best use if it's actually doable.
Correct.
Right.
How long is phase 1 expected to take?
Did you get a read on that?
You know, I don't think it will take very long, because Steve's already done some work down there. So, you know, in maybe 6 to 8 months, we should know what's going on.
So then it would be ready for budgetary consideration late fall.
We did authorize some preliminary planning with town engineer Walter to just start kind of laying it out more than me playing on the assessor's GIS site to see what it might look like.
And I guess just thinking ahead, you know, if we were to have some kind of mix of fields there, what would that mean in terms of the soccer field at Roy Moore on 16th Street? Has there been any thoughts? Would we keep all 3 of those different sites? Would we open some up for some more general public open space?
I think all things would be on the table, but this would definitely add some needed playfield space in town. And there are a number of people that would like the pickleball courts, but as mentioned, we do have to be mindful of the noise that's created by pickleball courts and locating them too close to a residential area.
They're right next to the interstate. It's pretty noisy right
So it's a good spot for them.
And train tracks. I mean, it's already noisy.
there. Right.
Well, by nature being lower too, it's the sound won't be as impactful.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what phase 1 provides.
Yep.
Okay, this is an action item. Would somebody like to make a motion?
Mr. Mayor, make a motion to approve the development of professional services agreement for the Cattail property as presented.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Seifert to approve the professional services agreement for the Gilstrap Property Park Development Phase 1, and that was seconded by trustee Britnall. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next item on the agenda is the February 2026 financials and balance sheets. I will turn this over to Director Tucker.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. This is for the month of February. 16% of the year has gone by. We are back up on our sales tax, thanks to Jim. We're 2% ahead of what we had gotten last year at this time. We are at about 17% of what we had anticipated getting when we did our budgeting last year. Use tax is at about 18.2%. Cigarette tax I put on the spreadsheet, but didn't put any numbers in. We're at about 26,000 for the month of February, because that would have been for January. February is due in March, so I'll be able to report more to you on that next month. We're doing well with our trash fees, our water fees, our wastewater fees, our irrigation fees, and I'll answer any questions you might have.
Are there any numbers that you're concerned about, any statistical outliers that you're going to keep a close eye on in the next 30 to 45 days?
So sales tax for March is significantly low, but I have not, or it's actually February's that we receive in March. I just got the notification and I've downloaded it, but I haven't looked to see. I think it's like $87,000 that we received in the month of March. So I'm going to dive into that and find out if like Amazon didn't pay or something like that.
And that's all on Treasurer Tucker, or Finance Director Tucker.
When we do well, it's Jim. When we do poorly, it's me.
I mean, your chart shows it going down in March, but not by that large an amount.
So March isn't on this yet because this chart is when we actually receive the funds, and we can't really narrow down when the sales tax was collected because people don't always pay on time.
Right. Now, I apologize. I didn't say it more clearly. I meant historically, when I look at the prior years, we see the dip.
Yes, but
not as steeply as it sounds
Correct.
like we may see it next month.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to be looking into that once I can get that spreadsheet open, but it's like 8,000 lines that I'll have to look through.
Wow. That sounds fun.
Yeah. A lot of them are zeros because people have to report even if they don't submit any sales tax. We get a lot of zero reports.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next item on the agenda, manager and staff comments. I'll turn this
Just a
over to Manager Mann.
couple quick items. We are still working through some of the issues that we've had down at the water treatment plant in terms of getting the plant up and running. Everybody's doing the best they can at this point to take care of things. We did end up with a rather significant issue with one of the filter trains that they basically had to remove all the have to do a kind of a rebuild of a pipe that was broken in the filter, and they have to repair that, which is a bit of a setback, but we're still on track that on April 8th we'll be able to do the ribbon cutting, but we just haven't started the commissioning process as of yet. So we're moving forward. I think I would commend the water staff and wastewater staff for the extra time they've been putting in learning the plant and making sure that when we get to the point where it's our plant, we know how to operate it. I think, and I'll speak for Operator Flores, but conversation with her last week, she's getting to the point where she's very comfortable with the components of the system and being able to run it when it's turned over to us. So that's a positive. The last thing that I'll mention is that we've been working with some folks looking at the solar array attached to the town hall and Silt Senior Housing. Neither have been functional for a while, and we finally have some answers. We are undertaking a process to repair the solar array here on Town Hall, but we've chosen, unless you direct us otherwise, to abandon the solar array on Silt Senior Housing. The repair cost estimate at this point is more than what we paid to put the panels on Silt Senior Housing.
And they're way past warranty, presumably.
They're way past warranty.
And aren't they close to the end of the life, or?
Probably 10 more years on the life, so.
There should be
okay.
10 more years, but squirrels got into the solar array on Silt Senior Housing and chewed up the wiring. So it's basically a redo, and so at this point, we're just gonna abandon the array.
And I'm guessing that the panel efficacy is also gonna, the decline slope is gonna get steeper.
You
Even if
lose-
it's got 10
I'm-
years,
yeah,
if you're losing 5%, 7% a year,
A year.
it's not linear, it kind of arcs down.
Right.
I say abandon it.
Yeah. Jim, can you provide any more context or detail on your legislative updates? If/how are those potentially going to impact the codes that we are
Well-
just beginning to go through the rewrite process for?
HB 261114 and HB 261308 are the most problematic bills that are out there for us right now. It would require a minimum lot size of 2,000 square feet, which is a very tiny lot. Basically, what that allows for is a single wide trailer, and that's it. HB 261308 further takes that and allows you to split that lot, which would then drop it down to 1,000 square foot, which basically puts us in a position where somebody's putting a camper on a lot. I don't know that that's the intention, but that's what's hanging out there. CML or AGNC, everybody's opposed to this. This is
Everybody.
this is overreach
Yeah, I agree.
by the state legislature on local zoning control.
What was it? It was like Cherry Hills. The lady from Cherry Hills in Denver. Each house is like as big as this building, right? She's like, you could put 4 houses, 6, 8 houses in each person's front lawn. Like, we're so against this, I can't even tell you. You know what I mean?
Who's for it? Like, who's the driver? Or what are the drivers of
it's-
either?
Affordable housing advocates and real estate folks, and I think to a certain extent, builders. But I had a conversation with a developer today, and their comment was, I can't really build on anything less than 3,000 square feet.
Well, that's my thinking, like that hypothetically solves one piece of affordable housing, reducing lot size, but it actually causes some other issues as well. It doesn't seem remotely close to a full solution.
The water, the traffic, the fire, the police. I mean, you start thinking about the ability to accommodate those things. And there were a lot of
Setbacks,
issues.
how do you do a setback
raised.
with 1,000 square feet?
You know, a lot of these, because I was just
Exactly.
on Friday, I was at the CML Policy Committee meeting, and this got brought up, and there were a lot of different problems that got raised, you know, issues raised about it. I think with maybe in a city it doesn't sound as terrifying and offensive because people are living a lot more close proximity or something, but no one seems to like it in the CML or the AJNC groups.
What's the likelihood of either passing? I know I'm asking you to make a guess, but you must have some kind of an inclination.
I do not speculate on what happens under the Gold Dome.
I would say, I think, with CML and some of these more respected organizations coming out in opposition, probably has less likelihood. I mean, there's always something that can be surprised, especially in the governors last year and what comes out of this session. But when, groups like these are really coming out in opposition and the local governments are so united in, preempting local control, I have a hard believe it will pass.
I don't disagree with that sentiment, but crazier things have happened.
Yeah, exactly.
The other one that I will mention is the 1334, which would be very positive for us, which is kicking the can down the road a little bit for the Wildfire Resiliency Code Board. Right now, communities are scrambling because the guidance just came out to try to figure out what that means for their communities and how to adopt that code and what guardrails to put in. This would kick our adoption to April 1 of 2027. Right now, it's supposed to be done July 1, 2026. Even if we started today, we'll have a hard time getting this done by July 1. Yeah. Not that they're going to come and do anything to us, but there's some issues with that. And then the budget issue, it's a big number.
Yeah.
And to your previous question, they do discuss, the CML group discusses like the viability of some of these bills. Like it's the policy committee meeting, so sometimes people ask, is it viable? Or how much should we be worried about this? And they have a pretty scientific analysis that they do about, so if you're curious, just so you know, you could always go and dig a little bit and see what CML says about a certain piece of legislation if you're really concerned. And then you could go give testimony or something, if you really wanted to. I mean, you're mayor pro tem of the.
Or we could send Jim.
We could always send Jim.
I love to pick on the legislature.
And I'm there on the town's behalf, so I do my best to represent the town and what I think the town would want, but I'm always, you guys can always tell me, if you're like, oh, I hate this one. And then when I go to policy committee meeting, I'll vote accordingly.
I do think it's both of the top two bullets are things we should keep an eye on. And if there's an opportunity either through CML or independently to go and speak our minds at the state level, we should make the most of those opportunities.
I agree.
This is not the right time to be silent about something like this. With all the developers we've got in the pipeline, changing the rules on them midstream could have a serious impact on the growth of this community.
Yeah. I will say, when there's something like this one, I think there would be already a ton of people. Yeah. You'd be saying the same thing. You'd be standing among so many people who are, you'd be having to elbow your way in to even say something. That's how it is at the meetings when these get brought up. I just sit there and listen to everybody.
All the hands go up in the Zoom meeting. All the hand raises. You're like, never mind.
Everyone's way more upset about it than I am, so.
Yeah, I can see this affecting communities regardless of where they are on the map of Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
really
big.
small lot. And then there's ADUs.
I can tell you one thing that's going to be coming more and more is single-family housing is going away. I'm working on a small 1,200 square foot house for helping somebody. The concrete alone, $1,600 a square yard. $70,000 just for the foundation. That's why the builders are going to multifamily, because they can do one giant slab and they can build 6 or 10 units on that one slab instead of having 10 individual. Yeah, I bought this flabbergasted. That's what concrete cost is going to be coming up. So, and they told me right out, talked to a developer in Valley Lumber, he said that just nobody's doing single family anymore. It's just all gonna come down to smaller homes and multifamily.
Is there an alternative to slabs, like piers or something? I'm not a builder by
No,
trade.
You still gotta have your concrete slab.
You still have to put a foundation in. Regardless
have
of
your
whether you have a
foundation, and
basement or
that's-
not, you've gotta
That's
go
a
down
big
below
cost of
frost
the
line.
house right now is
Yeah, in this area.
60 to,
And there's no viable alternative material to concrete for these slabs.
nope.
Yeah, they got those blocks, but you still gotta fill them.
You still gotta do your,
Those get filled with
you
concrete.
still gotta have
so-
your slab or floor, whether it's a crawl space or, foundation footers. It's, yeah, I mean, it's, hate to say it, how affordable housing, but yeah, it's gonna be more and more and more.
That's, that, for the affordable side, that's why you're getting a lot of proposals for the modular type units, is because they can stick build them in a factory, ship them, and then
Yep.
put them together
mean,
like Legos.
Like across city market, them
Yep.
small homes, that's, or you're gonna see more two-story, like I say, multifamily, but they're gonna go up less square foot imprint.
I also wanted to bring up another topic from your report, Jim, the snowbird rate policy. Did everybody have a chance to look at that, and any of the trustees have any thoughts
I had a
on
thought.
if or how we should implement a snowbird rate policy?
I mean, it's not to how to implement it or anything, but I read that and I thought, like the historical park, we're closed 6 months of the year, and I'll go in there and make sure the P traps are full. So it's kind of like, yeah, that would be kind of nice because, I mean, yes, we need to pay for the water plant. I get it, but it's $1,200 a year for a place that's only open for 6 months, and that's even with the discount. So.
Do we know what the economic impact would be, or best guess?
It would depend on how we structured it, and if there's a desire to try to come up with a policy, we'll come up with an economic impact. We're probably not talking that many units. It certainly would be hard pressed to say it would be 10% of our
I was
units.
gonna say, I wouldn't think it'd be a huge
It's
amount.
probably less than 5% of the units that would, and as I explained to the gentleman that reached out, I said, when we did the analysis on the rate structure for the new water treatment plant, we have to make sure we have the revenue coming in to pay our debt service. And so somehow we have to make sure that still functionally works. Maybe there's a way to go to a lesser, if you're not using any water, then perhaps we drop it a little bit and we take the usage side off of it, because if you remember, we include a certain number of gallons with the base rate. We could drop that and say, as long as you use less than 500 gallons a month when you're in this snowbird policy or whatever we're going to call it, it's okay. Because if I'm a snowbird, I still want somebody to come into my house and flush my toilets and run water into the traps to make sure I'm not getting gases building up. So there's still going to be some water use, but I would think 500 gallons would cover that.
I would be interested in some kind of an economic analysis of what our policy options could be. Even if
Okay.
we choose not to do any, let's at least have the data at our disposal when we are having that discussion.
Okay.
Does that seem,
Previously, it was a standby rate, which was half the base rate for water, half the base rate for sewer.
and what were the qualifications for that? Was it purely usage?
No, they would just say, okay, I'm going to Arizona for, 4 months. So we would discontinue their trash, and then they would go on what we called a standby rate at that time.
But it was on the resident to notify the town both
Correct.
times when they were leaving, and then, hey, now I'm back.
Well,
And we have a report that we run, or we used to run when we had standby rates, and the threshold was 200 gallons. So if they were more than 200 gallons, they'd come off of the standby rate and go back to full rate.
as soon as you start using the utilities, you drop off the standby rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that makes me feel better because, when I first heard this and thinking, could we potentially be encouraging or incentivizing people to start to look at something like this and having more and more properties that aren't being utilized? And so that's a bit of a concern, not to say it's the main driver. And I think hearing some of the percentage that, homes that could fall in this, again, maybe it's really not an issue, but I do think the usage would be the important piece to me. Because, a larger home that's sitting, that you're still having some amount of usage, that can have a greater impact than, say, somebody with a more modest home that, and if we're giving both the same discount, really it's a usage, I think, to me, that, should be the driver of that. So, creating some metric there would be something that I'd be happy to see in, some type of economic report.
Okay, we'll take a look at it and we'll put something together and bring it back for either discussion during a work session or full board meeting.
Sounds good.
Great. Then the next item on the agenda is board comments and future agenda items. And I will start at that end with Trustee Sanchez.
Just following up from last meeting, still working to get in contact with the Upper Valley Transportation Coalition. That's been working. Had some conversations with some of their steering committee, but nothing. They're still finalizing their report, so nothing of concrete to bring back. But yeah, whenever there is more, to, definitely loop this group in and see where we can continue to try and solve some of the transportation issues. So that's it at the moment.
Trustee Engelhardt?
Thank you. Okay, so I went to, on Friday was a Garfield Clean Energy meeting and also the CML Policy Committee meeting. But so from Clear and GCE, first of all, are we aware of the clean diesel program? They will look at your diesel, like lawnmowers and stuff, and see if they can convert them to something better. So they said, tell your Parks and Rec people about that.
Okay, we have no diesel lawnmowers, but
Okay.
we do have some tractors. We can check into that.
All of the things that diesel things that you might use. And then there are a couple of events. So there's a workshop April 15th. And this is for everybody. I don't know who in the town wants to go, but it's the Colorado River, Roaring Fork Valley, so CRV and Roaring Fork Valley Transportation Management Authority. Yeah. It's a workshop.
Okay.
So Clear should be reaching out to us. And I just wrote who in our town
What time
should
is
go. I don't know. I
Okay,
just put
because we
April.
have an in-service training that afternoon,
Okay.
mandatory for everyone,
Okay.
not you guys.
Well, they should be reaching out,
Okay.
and then maybe we can email and see. And then there's another event on April 23rd. I think they said 10 a.m. It's a Solar in Your Community event at the Mortgage Commons, which is above the library in Glenwood Springs. And they said there is a lot of information on code. So send your community development staff and register in advance. And that's it.
Thank you. Trustee Brendel?
Just that I think I mentioned it last time, it is now set up for sure on April 12th. We're doing that next sanctioned horseshoe tournament. I did see in your staff report about the golf outing potentially on May 29th. I would volunteer to take and go and golf that day.
All right.
We had a good time last time with a couple of the officers and whatnot, so there's some staff or anybody else who would like to go.
Okay.
Obviously, I'd volunteer to do that, just let me know. And then just summertime, daylight, kids out running around, weather's getting nicer and nicer, so just drive slow, be careful.
What time's the horseshoe tournament?
Running, probably starting about 9 in the morning and then goes throughout the day. Yeah, because last time when we had it, we had 4 classes, so there was 2 groups that played in the morning, 2 groups that usually play in the afternoons, typically how we try to do it, depending on how many people we have come. And then we already have probably 5 to 6 individuals that live outside of Garfield County that are interested in coming, in addition to our local guys, so it's usually a good time.
Nice.
Trustee Clausen.
I just had a couple of things. Yeah. Just in relation to, the hogback debacle or challenge or however you say it, just three items that I felt are really important. I feel the route needs to go past Grand Valley. I'm not saying that right.
The hospital.
Yes, and it needs to go past the hospital, CMC, and the airport. If it doesn't do those three things, I won't be in favor of it. But I just felt those things were real important on that. And how's the Grand Avenue project going?
They got started the 16th. They did some clearing and grubbing, so it started.
Oh, okay, nice.
And also, Chris, 550 square yards of concrete.
Oh, okay, wow.
So,
That's a truck or two, isn't it?
yeah.
And we know
Thanks.
how much it costs.
Yeah, now we know how much.
This went up.
And we know it wasn't cheap.
Well, it's going up and up and up.
Yeah. Oh, nice. And I know it's early, but do you see foresee any problems with irrigation season?
I don't this year. I'm hoping everybody conserves on their water. The Grand Valley ditch has some really good shares. So we'll get our water, but we need to conserve so we can share it.
Okay. All right,
Participate
nice.
in your watering days.
Yeah.
Our code
Thank you.
enforcement is going to be paying pretty good attention to watering days this year.
Okay, nice. And the property across the street, I've noticed the caution tape and everything's fallen off. Can we redo that? Only because a couple weeks ago I saw some guy kind of walking around.
I've been working with Attorney Sawyer. We will be bringing that back for a discussion in April.
Okay.
We're to the point now where we really need to make some hard decisions.
Okay. That's everything I had tonight.
Trustee Seifert.
Well, that was one I was gonna ask you, because I had a realtor, or some people that live, which way am I? That way.
So,
They had a realtor looking at their house, and of course, they do comps in the area, and he said that place didn't do him any favors.
Nope,
Because
and
they
it
have to
wouldn't.
go each direction. It kind of knocked his value down. He said, I just kind of screwed, because they have to go, they go each way, and that's what is there. That's the only one that's there other than the trailer park, and he said it didn't do him any good favors, so that was my gonna ask. Secondly, is there any way of putting maybe even a post on Facebook that Grand is starting to go? A lot of people have asked, weren't sure when that's gonna start or what's going on with that.
Yeah, I will get it when Director Santana.
I think if it
gets
just
back.
is on Facebook, people would know, okay, it is, what's all going on, because they've been working there. And I said, I'm not sure, I didn't know, so,
I will get that on Facebook.
yeah, it
Director
would just, that
Santana.
way they know for sure what's closing, when the closures are, or whatever, just a rough idea.
We had if there's gonna be closures, maybe make sure to do the text my gov, just so people get those alerts that
I
are
mean,
signed up for
they
that.
asked what, I said, I didn't know, but I knew the guy that could figure that out and put that on for us.
We'll get it on there.
That's it.
My only comment is, last Thursday night, I had the opportunity to attend the mayor's forum because Mayor Reichel was double booked, so he wasn't able to attend. It was a great discussion. I don't know if it was recorded. I don't know if it was on any media whatsoever. I don't recall there being video cameras. But it was a great discussion, good turnout with the public, great discussion between the mayors and myself, Mayor Pro Tem. And the interesting theme of it all was that a lot of these mayors, and myself included in that group generally, we want to have more discussions about what I've started calling the we problems. There's the me problems, Silt problems, and then transportation and all of these larger things. And every single person, every single chair said, we need to have more interaction. We need to have more discussion, whether it's a formal event like that or whether it's just us getting together when we can and doing more work sessions. And one of the takeaways I wanted to leave you with, Jim, is your predecessor used to do more work sessions where those of us who could would go to a Newcastle council meeting or go to Rifle, and they would come to one of ours, and we would do that once a year to each neighboring community and maybe extend it a little farther. just more of that engagement. There was a lot of alignment between the different stakeholders and representatives about, hey, these are the things we need to work on. We just haven't figured out how to do it yet.
Yeah, we did Newcastle a couple of times.
Yeah.
That worked. It was kind of fun, going to one of their meetings.
Okay.
It was kind of interesting, just how they run things or whatever. And I think we did one rifle one. I think me.
I feel like we did one
I
or
think
two.
we did rifle one too, if I remember right. I did one on rifle. We were invited to, so it was kind of fun, something different.
Yeah, but again, it was a great event. I have a number of Post-it notes where people were able to write questions down that we didn't get to during the session that I'm still going through. I think we all know what they're about generally, but great feedback from people. I hope it did a decent job representing the town of Silt. So if you hear anything, let me know, publicly or privately, how it went. But again, the discussion was great. Matt Gianeschi, the president and CEO of CMC, did a great job moderating, and it was a privilege to be able to attend.
Yeah, I think Newcastle, we did a work session on the one, if I remember right before.
That was on
Yeah.
the recreation
Yeah, but we
district.
did a regular meeting one time too. We just kind of, before the meeting, just talked and then we sat through the meeting and stuff. I remember that was way back when, but it was kind of fun, so.
And I know there are public notice rules as well. If there's 3 of us and 3 of them, what are the legal implications and how do we structure it? I'm just speaking very generally, and I got to meet the mayor of Snowmass Village, Alyssa Schenk, I believe her name was. I got to meet the mayor of Basalt, David. I don't remember his last name. Rachel Richards, from mayor of Aspen, was there and spoke very eloquently about some of the challenges they've had with housing and transportation and some of their takeaways and learnings that we can get from them. Ben Baumfluck from Carbondale, also talking about transportation and economic development. A lot of good input from all of them. It was a great discussion. And that's it for me. So the next item on the agenda is adjournment.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by trustee Seifert to adjourn, seconded by trustee Clausen. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, everyone.